Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council of the Borough of Glassboro for May 23rd, 2023 to order. Kathy, could you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2023, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board, as well as the Borough website, and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County, and filed with the Borough Clerk on January 7th, 2023.
Thank you. Can we all rise and salute the flag, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, roll call, please.
Mayor Wallace.
Here.
Mr. Dale Sandro.
Here.
Mr. Halter.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Here.
Mrs. Spence. Here. Mr. Melandro.
Here.
Mr. Scafidi.
Here.
Mr. Brunemer.
Here.
And let the record reflect that Mr. Casabone and Mr. Fiola are excused for the evening.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. We'll first start with a presentation, a gracious presentation. I'll come down for our K9 Mattis. Recently, a private donor, Mr. and Mrs. Scott and Tina Krantz, donated funds to be specific to outfitting K9 Mattis with a ballistic vest. It just warms my heart to know that so many people out there care not only about us as people, but they care about our officers, and our K9 officers are no exception. So if Mr. or Mrs. Krantz are here, I would please ask them to step forward.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Thank you so very much.
No
And I have a
problem.
plaque
Our
that's
pleasure.
presented to you.
Hi.
Hi, I'd like to read it. And there's K9 Mattis right there. Let me stand over here so you can see this. Okay, so this is the plaque. I'll let you see it first, and then I will read it to everyone. Okay? Everyone, the plaque reads, proudly presented, Mr. and Mrs. Krantz, on behalf of the Glassboro Police Department K9 Unit, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for your very generous donation to our K9 unit. It reads May 3rd, 2023, and it has the Glassboro Police K9 patches, actually all three of them, and a photo of K9 Mattis in his hand.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. My son just graduated from college and you guys kept him safe. And I follow you on Facebook and all of the outreach stuff that you do and your sense of humor with things. I really had an admiration for your police department. And my husband asked me what I wanted for Christmas and I said nothing. I don't want anything. And then I was like, actually I do. I said I want to donate a vest to a dog at K9. I said, but I don't just want to go through a website or to just some other dog. And he's like, pick a police department. And I'm like, okay. So I picked up the phone and I called and I'm like, can I talk to somebody in your K9 department? And I ended up talking to Chuck and we got this all set up. And then I said, you know, it's my Christmas present, so I made my husband do the rest.
I think that's his way of saying thank you.
Oh, no, I'll just pop down on the floor and play with him now.
Well, thank you
Thank
very,
Thank
very
you so much, I appreciate it.
Very
Thank you
kind.
guys for
Thank you.
everything. It's our honor, our pleasure.
Yep, photo, right?
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Take a picture of it. I hear you.
That was very nice. Moving forward, we have no public hearings, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 23rd, 2023, as well as a closed executive session of April 25th, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you very much. One abstention noted. Motion still carries. And Kathy, communications, please.
Yes, we have a letter of resignation for the Zoning Board of Adjustments for Francisco Jimenez. If I could have an emotion for that.
Motion approved.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We'll move to committee reports, and we'll begin committee reports with Council President Miller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just wanted to make a reminder that June the 26th is our 33rd annual golf tournament for Park and Recreation. It's going to be held at the Valley Brook Country Club. We are still accepting golfers. We're accepting donations, door prizes. It's a great event that provides recreation for our children in Glassboro. So we hope that if you're able to participate, you join us that day. And I don't know if I said the date, it's June 26th.
You did.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. Councilman D'Alessandro.
Mayor, at this time, I don't have nothing to report.
Thank you very much. Councilman Hawker.
Good evening, Mayor. I have nothing to report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Councilwoman Spence.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you again to Scott and Team Krantz for the nation. And also want to mention that the Memorial Day Parade is next Monday, that's 10 o'clock on High Street. And if you haven't gone to the best of Borough County and voted for our parade, please consider doing so. And that's it.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move to unfinished business. And at last meeting, some residents came out and asked about getting horseshoe pits put in at the Ellesmere Park. Our grounds crew went out there, did some site measurements and things, and it looks like late June, early July, they should be put in place. We'll keep you posted moving forward with that. For new business, Kathy?
Yes, I need an authorization for the New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for Daniel G. Lee. If I could have a motion, please.
Make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. At this time, I'll ask for the engineer's report, please, Mark.
Yes, good evening. Things are progressing on Camelot. They're finalizing all the building permits for the first two phases. Sections over phase 3, so we're finalizing the paperwork and getting that all completed to proceed there. Lincoln Boulevard is pretty much all wrapped up. They've done some concept grading, so they're finished on that aspect. Right across the street, Lucio's Bakery, they're getting nearing completion of their building addition. They're looking to be done about the third week of June, so that'll be active there. For those, a couple other jobs are continuing. We're just wrapping up most of the DOT jobs. And we had a pre-construction meeting today for the new turf field down at South Delsey Drive. Contractors looking to start mobilizing next Tuesday, putting up silt fence, construction fence. We're good to submittals together, but they're planning on pretty much teeing up the thing by mid-June. And they're looking to have it all wrapped up by the middle of September. That's all I have.
Very nice, thank you. Any questions for Mark? Thank you again, Mark. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our Borough Solicitor.
Yes, good evening, Mayor. Under our consent agenda this evening, we have the following resolutions, beginning with 165. Resolution authorizing submittal of Community Development Block Grant application for funding to the County of Gloucester by the Borough of Glassboro reconstruction of Filbert Street and Grove Street. 166, appointing Eileen Matias Castro as member of the Creative Glassboro Advisory Committee in the Borough of Glassboro. 167, authorizing purchase of gunshot detection solutions for the Borough of Glassboro Police Department under a National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, NCPA 168, authorizing release of performance payment bond for reconstruction of Holly Bush Drive in the Borough of Glassboro, Ricky Slade Construction. This is also known as Phase 1. Resolution 169, authorizing submission of remedial action report, Glassboro landfill. 170, authorizing agreement for professional services, Sickles and Associates, Inc., roadway construction project 2024. NJDOT municipal roadway state aid application. 171, revised resolution authorizing reduction of performance bond number SUR 200-229-01001 in the amount of $127,607.50 to $39,065 in the Borough of Glassboro. Resolution 172, and I'm sorry, that continuation was for Glassboro Camelot Phase 3, Section 1-3. Resolution 172, revised resolution authorizing reduction of performance bond number SUR 200-229-01003 in the amount of $278,070 to $83,421 in the Borough of Glassboro for Camelot Phase 3, Section 1-4. Resolution 173 is being pulled from the agenda this evening. Resolution 174, resolution appointing Rose Ann Quirk Lafferty as alternate number 2 of the Glassboro Zoning Board of Adjustment. Resolution 175, resolution appointing David A. Lopez as alternate number 1 of the Glassboro Zoning Board of Adjustment in the Borough of Glassboro. Resolution 176, resolution appointing Michelle Wyman as member of the Glassboro Zoning Board of Adjustment in the Borough of Glassboro. And we also have one add-on resolution this evening. That would be 177, resolution authorizing release of performance and payment bond for reconstruction of Holly Bush Drive, Ricky Slade Construction. This would be known as Phase 2. Tonight we have those resolutions on our consent agenda for adoption with the exclusion of 173. As noted, for the purposes on the agenda, if council so moves for approval, roll call vote.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Kathy, roll call, please.
Mr. Dale Sandro.
4.
Mr. Halter.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
4.
Mrs. Spence.
And an abstention of 165, all the rest are yes.
Okay, abstention noted, motion carries.
And Mayor, we have one ordinance tonight for introduction this evening by title only, that being ordinance number 2315, an ordinance amending chapter 223, development fees, section 2, residential development fees, subsection B4 of the code book of the Borough of Glassboro. Council moves for introduction this evening. Roll call vote. Motion.
Motion for introduction.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Kathy, roll call, please.
Mr. Dale Sandro.
4.
Mr. Halter.
4.
Ms. Miller.
4.
Mrs. Spence.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to open up the public portion, please.
Make a motion to open the public portion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address mayor and council.
Please note those in the public portion participation. There are rules and regulations related to public participation. They are outlined on our agenda. Most importantly, note that if you would please identify yourself when you approach, your name, place of business or residence, and also note there's a 5-minute limitation. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lou Magazoo. I'm mayor, council president, members of the council. I represent Grassroots and Russell Klein and Kristen Dutch Klein. And I'd like to ask, I noticed that under the rules, there is the capacity for some extension of time. I'm not gonna request extension, but I'm gonna ask the permission to speak for about a minute now and then wrap up at the end. What I'd like to do is just give you a sense of what we're gonna do tonight. Our application was unsuccessful. We were disappointed in that regard, but we are not going to in any way second guess what this board has done or impugn the folks who actually got the license. What we want to do is give you some flavor that perhaps could not be discerned from a piece of paper, even with the 42 letters of support for the application. a little bit of the flesh and blood that was behind this application, the Glassboro flesh and blood that was behind this application. And perhaps you would consider a third license or a third opportunity for the Kleins in addition to the two that you have already granted. So Mayor, with your permission, I would like to first introduce Russell Klein. And everyone knows about the 5-minute limit. I told them about that, as well as the other rules. So with your permission, I'll do that, and then at the very end, use the balance of my time.
Okay, I have if everyone, all the other members of council are in agreement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klein. And there'll be a few speakers, and everyone will stay within 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, thank you. Ms. Spence, Mr. Halter, you guys don't appreciate you having me. We're here to support Russell Klein, 46 Arlotta Street, Glassboro resident. I've assembled behind me tonight a lot of Glassboro residents and the small cannabis community of South Jersey. They're here in support of our license. I just want to tell you a little bit about me. As a young kid, sometimes when I was sitting at the dinner table, my father would go into his pocket and he would grab a $5 bill and he would tell me to run across town and get some bread. And I used to go get that bread from a guy named Ricky. And little building right over here. Some of you may know it. Some of the old Glassboro may know it. Some may not. You may not be familiar.
Oh, I know.
You know.
I've been here 30 years now.
My first job was right across the street at a little diner. You guys might know it. It's called Angelo's Diner. That was my first job when I was 16 years old. I played baseball with teams by the name of Movie Man, Don's Bagels. I had a coach. His name was Coach D. He was the toughest guy out there, but we appreciated him for it. He made us who we were. He was pretty hard on us, but he was a good coach. My father still lives down the street, and I think you get my point. We are Glassboro. Me and my wife own and operate a small business, maybe 600 feet from here. We are Glassboro born and bred. Some of the regulations state that you guys wanted ties to the local community, and I don't think it gets, more close than me and my family who are here with, a pretty good crowd tonight, and some people got held up. But I just wanted to state that fact that we are Glassboro born and bred, Glassboro graduate. My wife is Glassboro graduate also, and it doesn't get any more hometown than us. So we just respectfully ask the council to please take a look at our application, take a look at the facts. Just rethink it, and I apologize for that. Just take a second look. We respectfully ask that for grassroots cannabis application. So with that, I yield my time. Thank you, council.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening, Council. I'm
Good
Kristen
evening.
Dutch Klein, 46 Arlotta Street in Glassboro. Also own Ben's Barbershop at 112 West High Street in Glassboro for the past 6.5 years since December 2017. Yes, so we submitted our application. We thought we were excellent candidates due to being graduates of Glassboro High School, which I'm representing tonight with my t-shirt. Also class of 2000 and my husband 2001, and we just moved back to this town. Our family is still here, my family as well as my husband's family. We moved back here because family and community means the most to us. I opened up my barbershop doors to students of Glassboro High School so they can come in and experience a little job opportunities, what it's like in the real world to work within the community, to give back. I also recently joined the Rotary Club, which I had the pleasure of meeting your mother, a wonderful woman who is heading out to DC tonight to be a speaker. I wish her the best with her journeys as well. With our application and this whole, it's not just an application, it's a whole new endeavor for us. We want to plant deeper roots here in Glassboro, as in our name, Grassroots, because we came from here. We want to be here. We moved back here so we can raise our daughter in this town and have her go to Glassboro High School and all the Glassboro schools as well, so she can experience what we experience as to why we moved back here. So we'd really like to revisit opportunities so we can have stronger roots here and to give back more to the community that we would love to have the opportunity to bring in a great business with that opens up many more doors, not just for our family, but for your families, all of the families here in this community. And we just really like to have an opportunity to give back more than we ever could think of, because I think our children of this community and all the small businesses, I'm a big, supporter of all the small businesses in town, which Glassboro has a lot of small businesses, so we need to support each other and be able to help give back to one another and really open the doors. And yes, it is cannabis related, but at the root of it, it's all about family, all about community, and what funding and what, not the funding, I apologize, but what we can give back with the business that goes through the doors. And me and my husband were very hard workers, and this would just set us to the whole another level of being able to give back and work even harder, not just for ourselves, but for everybody here, for all the community and everybody that they can possibly serve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My
Good
name is
evening.
Bruce D. Stewart Jr., the proud older brother of Russell Klein. Also a graduate of Glassboro High School in 1987. I'm a former employee of Glassboro Park and Rec. I coached their wrestling teams back in the day with Greg Sawyer. I've grown up here. This town has been our livelihood, our family. I'm a proud veteran. I went in the Marine Corps right out of high school here with Sergeant Alicia. Eddie Alicia became a great Glassboro officer. My whole family has deep roots here. We're hardworking people. We love Glassboro. I didn't move far away. I'm 6 miles away. I still come back here. I work with the Paul's Healing Heroes program here in town. We supply, you know what we do. I just have to mention that name. You know who it is. All right. So I just want you guys to really, really look. You can bring giant, big organizations in here, and they're just gonna run it just like a business. We're tied to this town. We're tied to this town. The family's tied to this town. I've been here, I don't know how many years. My parents have been here since, the 70s, I think. So we just like you to take a really good look at the applications. If you want a big, giant business in here, that's great. If you want somebody that's really tied to the township of Glassboro and knows the people, and I'm sure, Russell, and I know a few people, and I know your kids over there that have the gym, and your nephews, like, we're tied in here, so that's all I have to say. I'd like you to take a really good hard look, see if you want an out-of-town corporation to come in, or see if you want people that you know and they live in your town and they're gonna look after the best interest of this town. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Velvet Howell Sparkle, and I am here supporting Russell and Kristen Klein. I am also a small business owner. I'm not here in Glassboro, however, my 3 adult children graduated from Rowan University. I met Russell as a small business owner, he and his wife, and they have definitely helped me with my small business, giving me advice and helping me connect me with other people within that same sector. So I am here to support them, things that they have shared with me on how they've given back to the city of Glassboro, even with, as Kristen said, within their small business at the barbershop, during, giving back to the students. I've seen their decks, and it's just amazing. So as someone who is a small business owner, I know how important that is and how it makes the economy a better place, and I think that you all should definitely reconsider it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Hugh Giordano. I am a union representative for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, UFCW. The UFCW is a national labor union of 1.3 million hardworking families, and we represent numerous industries, and we're proud to be the official union to represent cannabis workers from seed to sale, both adult use and medical, under the guise of the AFL-CIO. I'm here tonight because Russell called me. And I'm here tonight more than just a call. It's because he's a good business owner. Russell has signed a labor peace agreement. So what that means is that when he opens, his workers will have the right to not only form, but also join a union. without harassment, without agitation, without people being fired. You won't see a Jeff Bezos in Glassboro with Russell. He has guaranteed that if the workers decide that they want a union, he will accept the union. There won't have to be an election, there won't have to be a vote, there won't be anti-union rhetoric going out in his business. What does that mean? That means living wages. That means the people that work there will be guaranteed a good job, they get paid a living wage. That means health care. They'll get good quality health care, not only the employee, but their family as well. They'll have retirement plans, so that those folks that work at his dispensary and are there for 25, 30 years with dignity will be able to retire with respect. I can tell you right now, we're dealing with numerous facilities, and it's nice to actually run into somebody who's from an area, who cares about the community, who wants to make sure that the community, his workers, the people that live here and shop here and head out to the community are actually taken care of. That means a lot. You know, as a union representative, we want to make sure that the workers are also skilled and trained. Since he signed the labor peace agreement, those workers will be trained. We have an official cannabis apprenticeship program through Rowan University. Those workers will be trained efficiently, they'll be safe, OSHA standards as well. They also get credits towards Rowan, just for working, just for going to work. And we think that's amazing. So, you know, as the representative for the UFCW, we would ask that you reconsider, that you think about, you know, what type of businesses you want here, what you want them to provide to the community. You know, this is only the beginning, and I would like to see Russell be a big guy one day, because it's nice to have working class people be successful here. It's nice to see people who work hard, who are not fed, boatloads of money through their parents or however they do it. You won't have a Jeff Bezos effect. It'll be real working class jobs, and they're working class people. You know, the union is not against companies. We're just against bad people, and Russell is far from a bad person. And we would like to see that. So on behalf of the UFCW, and also they signed a project labor agreement as well. So that I wanted to let you know that. So they're working with the building trades, IBEW, you know, steam fitters, all those workers as well. And hopefully they come from Glassboro. So he's committed to good union jobs from not only seed to sale, but shovel to sale. So we would ask on behalf of the UFCW, on behalf of the building trades, and on behalf of the AFL-CIO that you please reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name's Emmett Vandergrift, 1441 Main Street, Port Orange, New Jersey. I'm from Commercial Township. I'm here tonight to further endorse and give my support for Russell and his wife. My company is called Pigment Holdings. We were of the first 68 applicants to be conditionally licensed for cultivation as well as manufacturing. We currently hold a Tier 6 cultivation license, which is the largest. It permits up to 150,000 square feet of space. I met Russell and his wife. We were given a speaking engagement at the MJM Pact, and out of the thousands of people that attended, I would say that Russell and his wife were probably the most attentive to not only our speaking engagement, but everyone there. They took notes throughout the entire facility and throughout the entire presentation. And at the conclusion of it, when my partner and I were outside, they took the liberty to come up to us and ask us these questions. How did you get started? How did you do this? And throughout my time, I've been in cannabis since 2017. I've submitted 3 applications since then. We finally were awarded one in 2021. I've gone across the country. I've toured facilities from California, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. I've been up and down and across this country. And the businesses that I've seen be the most successful are the ones that are run by the individuals that are the most invested in their community. And it's for that reason that mine has been so successful so far as well. And it's those that contribute the most back to those communities. And I'll just, give you a little context here. Curaleaf and Columbia Care are 2 of the largest multi-state operators currently in the country, as well as in New Jersey. They've been operational since 2014, 2012, sometime in there. And since then, they have given 0 back to those communities that brought them in. And I know that firsthand because I'm partnered with those organizations to which they had pledged that they were going to give this stuff back to. And so when individuals here tell you that you don't want these big organizations coming in, or, you know, ask you who do you want to come in, I would really strongly recommend that you reconsider who you do want doing business here. And I think Russell and his wife have been a perfect example of how, you know, good local business individuals should run a business. They've got a very successful barbershop. I think that speaks highly to them and to their professionalism and how they would approach the cannabis business as well. So on behalf of Pigment Holdings, as well as the whole cannabis industry, we were the first organizations to give them LOIs, saying that we would provide their industry with product, whatever they needed. And I can tell you right now that that is going to be the biggest hurdle that the state's going to see here in the coming months, is that they're not going to have enough product out there. So to have individuals that have relationships such as the ones that Russell and his wife have, it's going to be very meaningful in this industry in the next couple of years. And so I would really strongly ask you to reconsider their application.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Jeremy Boyd, owner of Traffic Therapeutics on 107 Rome Boulevard. We started here in Glassboro in 2017, the same month as Kristen and Russ, who I'm supporting. I just want to say that, you know, they're great individuals. They believe Glassboro. They supported us through everything. Not only my business, they support Bonesaw, the cigar location across the street. Our town events. They do a parade, the Memorial Day parade every year. They're there for trunk or treat. So clearly they lead, Glassboro. I think that's important. And as a business owner who's started in Glassboro, this is always gonna be home for me. People always ask me, "Don't leave Glassboro." Like, no, this is where we started, and how important this town is. That you guys champion small businesses. Like, we're at opportunity, my business, to grow into different towns simply because of what happened here in Glassboro. Whether it's Levon and his events, Tawana and the financial side of things, Danielle, you've helped me, Ed as well. John, can't thank you enough. And what you guys have done is been able to help create companies that grow and give back. Like, I have the opportunity to bring in the next generation of physical therapists and give them a good place to do their best work. And I think that speaks a lot about you guys on the council and this whole town. So, it's nice to see that you guys support small businesses and groups that don't maybe have the experience or have 10 different facilities. You guys gave me a chance. You gave Kristen and Russ a chance with their barbershop, and they're growing and hiring people and supporting the town themselves. So, that's it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really, really appreciate you guys and hope that you guys can support them as well.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Victoria Bowes. I live in Glassboro, went to Glassboro High. In the beginning, I didn't know what they was talking about because nobody actually introduced what type of business y'all denied. And later on, it's coming to tell you it has to do with cannabis. I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm not saying I'm back, but we got too many high schools, too many schools, and that college. That could be yay and no, because where there's a will, there's a way. And these students in here today, gone tomorrow. I don't know, it might be a conflict. 3 weeks ago, I'm coming off Ellis Street, a darn car hit me twice, and it kept going. It was a student. So it was a hit and run. That I don't know nothing about that person. All I know, God is good, he has a purpose for me, I'm still here. But that person, he took off. Totaled my son's car. So we're out of luck. Now, was it drug related, alcohol related? I don't know. So just for what happened to me 3 weeks ago, I'm concerned. Because like I said, you're talking about this direction, but anything that direction around that student area where I got hit, that's a whole nother ball game. And no one's governing it. Even though y'all got street cameras, these street cameras, no one figured out where that car went and recorded that it hit me. So I'm like, okay, you got street cameras, you got recording, and no one saw that car? I don't know, that's my concern.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, first of all, thank you for allowing me to do the wrap-up. I know it's a little bit different, being a difficult procedure. As we said, this was not coming with recriminations, second guessing, but rather to tell a story, to put flesh and blood behind an application. Just to summarize, the Glassboro residents, long time, local business in the community which has given back. They have a social equity member. They have partners who have multiple successful stores. One of the partners is an attorney, one's a pharmacist. They have a contract, a letter of intent with Rowan University and Cooper Hospital, which fulfills the educational and research mandate put forth by the legislation and regulation. They have made 100% commitment to hire Glassboro residents first, not through their best efforts, but 100% commitment. They have women and minority certification. They have a $2.5 million cash on hand committed to the project. As you heard, they have union support. As you know from the application, there were 42 letters of support from residents and businesses of the community. You heard from Mr. Vandergrift that they have a supplier agreement already in place for both manufacturing and cultivation cultivated products. You heard from Dr. Boyd. It's very interesting to me, and I had 15 years as a municipal attorney and 15 years as a freeholder. Typically, I saw crowds like this when I was raising taxes, citing something that people didn't want in their backyard, or doing something that was controversial. It's rare to see this type of crowd in support of something that's hometown. And I think that speaks to the quality of the clients. The governing body is the heart and the mind and the soul of a community. And tonight you heard briefly, respectfully, from part of the soul of that community that's saying, maybe you need to give a second look at this. Maybe this application, and by the way, everything you heard tonight was in the application, so there's nothing new here. But maybe it just is different when you see the folks who are associated, the applicants, and more importantly, the group that comes out tonight in support of them. And frankly, in a different night, we might have had more people. But this is certainly a testament to the high regard to which they're held. I am here, yes, I'm here as their attorney, but I'm also here as a volunteer. The meter has stopped running because frankly, these are folks who cannot afford unlimited lawyering. But I believe so much in them. And I believe they're gonna succeed, either in Glassboro, or it's gonna be Glassboro's loss, and they'll succeed somewhere else. And what a shame that would be for Glassboro to turn its back on their own, to be embraced by Vineland, or Cherry Hill, or Winslow Township, or Washington Township, or Monroe, or wherever it might be. What a shame that would be. Instead, there could be the opportunity to say, you know what? We found two of our own that believe in this community, and we gave them that opportunity. And as a result of that, you know what? Maybe the first time we didn't fully understand, or maybe it wasn't fully presented in the best possible light. I don't know. But despite that, we gave them this opportunity 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when they're contributing to the community, when they're contributing like this other wonderful couple was to the police. And so, you know, I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of all the accomplishments, and you have good reason to be proud of the accomplishments of your time in government. God knows it's not always rewarded. But boy, I remember when it started. And I remember when it looked like a loss, and they came here with their friends and their neighbors, and they got to me. And because of that, I looked at the application again. And no disrespect to the committee, we have a phenomenal staff here. I tell everybody, still I will say, that Glassboro is one of my favorite places to come to in business. We looked at the application again. We saw the words, we paid attention to it, and we took in our heart what was given to us by their friends and neighbors. And as a result of that, what looked like a disappointment turned into an extraordinary success. I would ask you to open up your minds. There are many communities that have multiple licenses, and I would suggest Glassboro could do that, particularly with the amount of students that you have here, as well as the fact that other communities are not open. Finally, if you're not comfortable with a full license, I would suggest perhaps we look at a micro license, which is designed for folks just like the clients. I'm gonna respect the 5 minutes. Mayor, members of council, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Ryan Campbell. I am a resident of Mantua. I just want to say I've been to hundreds of public meetings, and you guys, the way you conduct yourselves is one of the most professional. I do appreciate it. Thank you for that. I am here to support Russell and his wife. I am a realtor and as well as a business consultant, and I'm here for like a character voucher here. Russell, anytime that he's ever had a problem in any endeavor that we've went down, he's immediately found a solution. And his ability to deliver on contract timelines and things like that is impeccable. That's all I have, but thank you again for your meeting style.
Thank you very much.
Mayor and all councilmen.
Good evening.
I'm Kevin Shah. I'm the property owner in the Glassboro. I'm here to support the Russell and Christine. We had a madam, she explained her concern about the student. I think it's very important part. That's the reason I believe that Russell and Christian will do the better job compared to any bigger corporate people, because you can pick up the phone and call them if there is any trouble in a township or trouble in a community level on underage sale. So there will be a very, very responsible business people. We know him personally, and I'm here to vouch for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
John Wise, 114 East Avenue, Glassboro. I'm here for a vote of thanks and appreciation. The highway department must have caught me sleeping. I woke up 2 days later and everything in front of my house was dead. The boys came out and sprayed. I didn't know they were there. I appreciate that. That just keeps me and my weed whack and my hose from going out there doing it myself to make it look good. And I appreciate that. And you know me, I stand here in front of all of you saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't see Chip out there, but I know it was his gang. The other time before, he cut the trees down, the limbs hanging over, still some hanging over. I didn't get in touch with Baltimore and Ohio yet, you know, but we'll be working on that. But I'm here, you guys know, to let you know that I love the work that you do. I didn't ask, so it wasn't a thing that I said, I need this done. It didn't happen that way. They did it without me even saying a word. Like I said, it caught me sleeping. And y'all can tell everybody that works in that department that John Wise said thank you very much. God bless you.
Same to you. We'll make sure they get the message. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mike Germano. I live in 209 Brook Ave, Magnolia, New Jersey, and I'm here to support Russell and other small county businesses opening up in town. My family and I, which consists of my father, myself, my brother, my sister, are in the process of opening up micro retailer in Woodford Township. And I'm going to be very honest with you, it is extremely hard and difficult to do. We've hit a lot of bumps along the way, but one thing I can say is we've had a very supportive township on our side, Woodford Township. And that is just one thing I think every cannabis business needs, whether big or small, but preferably small, because these small companies are going to put the love and the care into this industry that it needs. And all I say is just support these businesses as they come to you, because they definitely need it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kevin Waring. I own and operate the Jimmy John's here in Glassboro. Soon to be the Jimmy John's Baskin Robbins, actually, or gonna be the first combo in the nation. So, needless to say, I think a third marijuana license would be great for my concept. Beyond that, Russell and Krista have been great friends of mine for years. I moved into town to do this job about 5 years ago, and we get my haircut with her for years now. Great people, great haircuts. I'm sure they do great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I close the public portion, anybody else wishing to speak?
Whatever you want, this is your time.
How's everyone?
Well.
My name is Courtney, and I work for St. Vincent de Paul. I'm a disaster case manager.
Excuse me, Courtney, I'm sorry. Could you just give us your last name and your place of residence, please?
Courtney Graham,
Mhm.
and I'm at 1310 South Academy Street.
Thank you.
And I am a disaster case manager for St. Vincent de Paul. And I wanted to bring awareness, we're helping survivors of Hurricane Ida. It's been over 17 months since the storm, but we still do have residents that are within Gloucester County that are experiencing unmet needs. And so I just wanted to read this overview from the DCA. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, has allocated long-term recovery funds to New Jersey through its Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program. The Department of Community Affairs, DCA, is administering the grant and received federal approval on its plan to use $228 million to aid the ongoing recovery from Hurricane Ida. To ensure the CDBG-DR funds are being used to address the state's most pressing recovery needs, DCA conducted an unmet needs analysis, collected community feedback, and developed an action plan with outlines how the funds will be used to help individuals and communities. So basically, I'm just like a liaison to help residents that are still experiencing unmet needs, may it be construction, rental assistance, they still have water, mold remediation, things of that nature, just to let them know that we do have funding now, and I'm the case manager for Gloucester County for anybody that's interested.
Thank you.
Is there information or that I can,
If you wouldn't mind, if you're gonna be here till the end of the meeting, I'll come down after the meeting and we can trade.
Okay.
We can trade information.
Perfect.
I'd like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, it's me again. I'm Victoria Bose. I live on 207 Harding Avenue. What I really came here for, a lot of people be calling like for 50, the zoning is 75 by 100, maybe past 75 by 85 to build new drug zoning. I'm hearing that a lot of people have like 100 and they wanna put a duplex or they wanna put 2 single family homes. But that's 50, you need 75 by 100 to build. We haven't got a variance saying that the person can build, but I just wanna know, is the zoning still 75 by 100? Or y'all gonna change it back to 50 by 100? Because even though some houses in our neighborhood on South Academy are built on 50 by 100, but if you take into consideration that the fire department, you really can't get in between them unless you step on someone else's property. So I figure that's why y'all went to 75 by 100. So I was just considering. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else wishing to speak to the public portion? If not, I make a motion to close the public portion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The public portion is now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve all duly authorized bills.
Motion to approve all bills.
Second.
Excuse me.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Mayor, I have some extensions, 1528, 11687, 1850, and 02034.
Those abstentions are noted. No other abstentions. That motion still carries. Any closing comments from our administrator?
Yeah, I do have a comment. Russell and Kristen, there's nothing more, just me speaking, than wanting to, I had some say in this, application to push it forward. Got my word, I really, truly did. Everything everyone said about you is how I feel. Great people, great community. Unfortunately, I can't speak for everybody, but when we looked at the applications, one came out here and one came out here. And there were conversations that went on during the application. The other thing I never wanted to see you all do was lose your money. Never wanted to see that. Had several conversations with Lou at that point, because during the process, the financial aspect of it wasn't going well, trying to gather that information. So and again, I'm just speaking for myself, but I think it's for all of council as well. There's nobody more than this council who wanted to move it forward, but unfortunately we had a job to do, and when we looked at the applications, one came out here and one came out here. And it was unanimous from a presentation perspective, from an application perspective. Everyone was pulling for you too. I was glad when I heard Lou start out tonight saying petition for a third. I'm not sure that would go through. I'm not sure you would get it. It sounds like the comments went back to, can you relook at the application? And again, I'm telling you for the record, when you look at an application, and Lou, you know this, you look at the application, and you grade them. And we tried to push it through, as a matter of fact, before we even had a third in. We kept saying, where are the financials? Get us this, because there was one waiting. And in our job, it's unfortunate that you gotta look at the whole borough and say, okay, now we're gonna get sued from these folks who we haven't heard their application. I think, Tim, and it was 3 to 4 weeks. And we have to rely, and I know you told me not even to talk, but I'm talking. But you have to go back to them and say, we're going to review it. We had to review it. That's why we were pushing so hard to get this in. We couldn't get past the application and the financials. There was conversation like, well, that's how it is with this. But then we had another application, other applications, and people were showing us their financials right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Here's where they are. And again, there were conversations that I went back and said, this isn't going well. I don't want to take these people's money if it's not going to go forward. I don't want to do it. Council didn't want to do it. I only have one say in this. So
May I add on the record?
That'd be out of order.
What?
Yeah, that would be out of order.
I'm
We can
sorry.
talk after.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after. There's rules. But I didn't want to let this meeting go without saying that you had our support all the way through this.
We appreciate that.
And you could say BS or whatever, but from the bottom of my heart, I mean it. You being a resident of Glassboro, that means a lot. I'm a transplant, even though I've been here 30 years. Okay, I've been here longer than I've been in Philadelphia. I know what it's like. I just had to tell you, and then I'm done, but I had to say something. I'm sorry. And I apologize, Tim, I know I'm not allowed to speak, but. Yep.
Very nice, thank you. Before I motion for adjournment, I would first like to say, first and foremost, I would like to thank the Krantz family for that amazing donation to our K-9 Mattis, to our police officers, and the safety of those people that keep us all safe. It just warms my heart. And along with that, it absolutely warms my heart. And I want to thank all of you that came out in support of the Kleins and spoke on behalf of what the borough means to you and what it means to all of us, because that is the mantra of myself and this council and administration as well. I thank you all, and I wish you all to continue to support each other, and we'll continue to support you as well. And to all those others that come to voice their concerns, issues that they have, I always encourage you to please come. This is the place that information can be exchanged by everybody, and this is where change and issues can be rectified, so I thank you all for that.
And with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all, everyone, again. Have a great evening. Next regular meeting will be June 27th, 2023, 6 p.m.